You are watching the #1 podcast in the whole entire youth wrestling community, and this time riding solo is Juan. So welcome to every single one of you to the NXT Takeover in your house review pay-per-view that, like, on paper turned out to be like a great card. We were really excited. We're really looking forward to see every single one of the matches. Maybe in the execution turned out to be, for me at least, not one of the greatest takeovers. I think we've seen way better takeovers in the past, but we're going to be talking about everything. So we thought we were going to go live, but unfortunately due to some technical difficulties, we had to just stick it to the video. So thank you very much for every single one of you that is watching. Don't forget to comment, and also don't forget to subscribe. We're 5 subscribers away from the 1,000, so every single one of you, the new ones that are watching this, help us out to reach to that goal. Thank you to everybody else that has been watching the videos, especially thank you for the support on this. We were live yesterday to talk about Against All Odds with this the full show review. Sami Callihan unfortunately gets fired from Impact. He actually intervened in the match with Kenny Omega and Moose, not in the outcome because he actually came out later on the match, but the Young Bucks were the ones that screw Moose out of the Impact World Heavyweight Championship. We talk about every single thing, also matches like Jordan Grace and Tamil. Also, we talk about Diana Purrazzo against Rosemary for the Knockouts Championship. So thank you everybody that's been watching that video, and keep just watching it. It's really good. We go about everything that is coming up with Impact and also the alliance with AEW. So thank you very much to every single one of you. Let's talk about, like I said, family, NXT Takeover. Finally, there were crowds. They said it was one of the largest crowds, that we've seen after the pandemic. And Naomi Fox is a singer. She opened up the show. And just to warm the crowd, she sang a song, everybody just to get excited. They had the video packages showcasing every single thing of the rivalries. I feel like I said on paper, the show was really good. We thought that the matches made sense. They hyped it up in the show really good on Tuesdays. Don't forget to watch that review also, so that you can watch the review and then watch this, so you guys can see everything that has happened from hyping at the pay-per-view and the execution of it. So she was the one that actually opened the show, Naomi Fox. And then Peter Bettenfield, he was the one that a previous announcer in the WWE during 95, 96, 97 when In Your House actually started. So of course they're gonna bring the nostalgia agging him, and he's always on hand to just come and warm the crowd. Welcome to NXT Takeover In Your House. We've got a great show. So especially with the matches that they had, every single one of the viewers, I feel that they were hoping me to just have a great show, because again, on paper it was actually a really great card. So let's start with the first match, family, and that was winner takes all. It was MSK and also Bronson Reed, North American champion and tag team champions, against the Legado del Fantasma, Santos Escobar, also Mendoza and Wild. So everybody will just against each other, and the winners will either keep their championships or they will lose everything. So this match on paper, one more time, it was really good, but the execution of it was not as good because it never picked up. It never went to those heights that are climactic emotion, extremely near pinfalls. None of that. We saw none of that. Bronson Reed for most of the match looked really dominant, looked colossal, and that's fine. But again, Santos Escobar did not have a great performance, at least for me. I think all the other members of Legado del Fantasma, Mendoza, Wild, they did a lot better than what Santos Escobar did. Maybe he's injured, or maybe, I don't know, they didn't have the chemistry with Bronson Reed. And the members of MSK, Carter and Nash, they did really good. But again, this match was actually short. I thought they were going to give it a little more time. It turned out to be 15 minutes or so. And like I said, this thing never really picked up. You said, at the beginning of the action, the members of MSK dominated the match. Then Santos Escobar wanted to go in, but he goes to Bronson Reed. He says, "Let's do it. Come on, let's have the match." He pits Mendoza, and he says, "No, you go." And then actually Bronson Reed took care of Mendoza. He did, I said, a big splash on him. And then you got to see the interactions between them. It was okay. Then MSK dominated one more time. Then they did all the dives, and then also Bronson Reed did a big dive onto everybody, on members of MSK and members of the Legado del Fantasma. Not, I said, not the greatest match ever, and I don't know why it was, but I think that it never picked up for me one more time. It never really did it. It never got to those heights that I thought it was gonna get it. I thought Santos Escobar had the opportunity. Jean Paul and I were actually waiting for the Legado del Fantasma to beat him, and then they become tag team champions and one more time North American champion. They said on the commentary also that Santos Escobar, this could be the stepping stone for him to becoming the NXT champion at some point in his career. But this is the moment that the match completely changes, because Bronson Reed put Santos Escobar through the barricades. He completely threw him and pushed him down there, that completely like take away Santos Escobar from the match, and that allowed MSK to like take care of like Mendoza, because then they took care of like Wild, but then they did the MSK or like the big blockbuster, that's his finisher, and then Bronson Reed hit like the tsunami, that's his finishing move, like that big splash that he does. 1, 2, 3, and the winner is the ones that keep the championship is MSK and also Bronson Reed. This, like I said, like I wanted like the Galo del Fantasma, but it's not because they didn't win. It's just like the match never really got to the point that it was supposed to get me as excited. Like I didn't care for the winner. It actually was like it ended when like it never, like I said, it never picked that dramatic emotion. It never picked up to the point that like, you know, I was really hoping for this to be like a match that will steal the show. It was just like a good opening match, but not even good. I would say average. I don't know what it was. Maybe because the match was put together like in, you know, a matter of like 1 or 2 weeks. Maybe that's what it was. But like I never saw like this thing picking up. So family, let's go to the next match, and this is like from the Mayon Classic. Like they fought in this tournament, and then that's where the rivalry kind of started. Mercedes Martinez against Xia Li, a new version of Xia Li, you know, like with Boa aligned with also with Mei Yim, all of those things. Like Tian Sha, that's like the group that they have, like the three of them together. Remember like all those promos, all those vignettes of that grueling, that violent training, that really gruesome training that old Boa and Xia Li did. And Mercedes Martinez is a badass, you know, she's trying to get back to that championship picture again so she can challenge one more time Raquel Gonzalez. So they have this match, and like I said, this match actually turned out to be pretty decent. Again, another one that like ended like in complete like in the sequence that we didn't think it was going to end. So like in the beginning you see Mercedes Martinez got the upper hand, and then Xia Li would equalize the situation. She was trying to like injure like the arm, and then Mercedes Martinez one more time she will get the control of the match, because here Xia Li misses one of the kicks, and then she just ended up like hitting the post. So that's one of the things like you see like there was like back and forth. It was 50-50 for this match, but then you know you see like how Mercedes Martinez was trying for like that his finisher, like the Death Valley driver that she does, and Xia Li were actually kicked out of one of like the main moves that Mercedes Martinez did. But and then in very like anticlimactic fashion, then Xia Li actually delivered one of like a spinning heel kick, really nicely executed. It was like a really good kick. I thought that Mercedes Martinez wanna kicked out, but Xia gets the win. And well, at least you know that helps Xia. That helps her character. That helps her like because she needs to get these important wins. And I feel outside in the world of NXT, this is probably her most important win. You know, because Mercedes Martinez has name value, and you know just the only thing that Mercedes needs is gold. Because other than that, like everybody respects her, everybody knows how much of a badass she is, how much of a good wrestler she is. So like I feel that Xia Li with this, it was really good. But then that didn't turn out to be the case. Why? Because then Mercedes Martinez actually, like Xia grabbed a chair and she was about to beat her up with it, and then Mercedes reacts and she's the one that is beating Xia Li with the chair. So this, you know, this actually hurts Xia Li for me, because again, she's supposed to look like dominant. She's supposed to look like better than everybody else because of all the results of this grueling training that she did. Unfortunately, that is not the case. Mercedes actually gets the upper hand, and then you see finally Mei Yim, you know, kind of like lift her up for like the chair that she's always sitting down there, and then she actually goes against Mercedes Martinez. Mercedes Martinez is not afraid of her. She's just like, let's go, let's do it. And like you know, you see like the interaction. Mei Yim was kind of trying to choke Mercedes Martinez, but then Mercedes actually comes back. She starts beating her up. Then Mei Yim one more time gets the upper hand, and then she ends up throwing Mercedes Martinez to one like outside of like what was like the ring and stuff. So like you get to see that, and then she's completely done. She's like, you know, completely injured, and then you see Tian Sha getting the upper hand. Like they get like the, you know, over Mercedes Martinez. They're the ones standing tall. You get to see Xia Li there, right? You get to see Mei Yim, and you get to see Boa. But in the end, you know, like this seems to me still like 3 against 1. So I don't see like, you know, Xia Li like being presented as dominant as she could be, or like, you know, like her wrestling should be the one that like beats people up, rather than, you know, Mei Yim comes out to help her. Mei Yim should just be standing there and, you know, like just maybe do a move, or like just move her arm and then just be like, okay, you know, finish her, like, you know. But she never looks dominant, and in this case I think Mercedes did the job for her. That's fine. We'll see what Xia ends up doing, because like she could actually be the one like challenging Raquel Gonzalez. Like I don't think this feud needs to continue, just because like again Xia Li needs like more prominent opponents. For example, like Toni Storm can be one of them, Zoe Starks can be the next one, you know, maybe baby faces could be like in this place, maybe Ember Moon, maybe Shotzi Blackheart. They should be the next ones that are gonna keep putting over Xia Li, and they're gonna keep promoting her like just for a big push, or like just for her to like just got that championship opportunity with Raquel Gonzalez. But this is the stuff that we got. This was like the second match, and like I said, Mercedes Martinez has still great opportunities. Every time she has a match, she looks like a badass. She has great performances. Unfortunately, like I said, the match just ended like very anticlimactic. The kick was good, but like it's like, okay, is this it? That's how I feel. Is this it? and the match didn't call for that. So family, let's go to the next one, and this is going to be, these two guys are going to be promoting. They were just promoting NXT on Tuesday because they're going to have a tag team tornado match. They're going to have like this Timothy Thatcher and Tommaso Ciampa. They're going to go against the Grills Young Veterans, so they were just cutting a promo about them. It's like they're going to beat you guys, it's going to be over, and finally we're going to be the #1 contenders for the tag team belts. So you see Tommaso Ciampa is very calm, he's just talking very slowly, but then the one, Timothy Thatcher, is the one that like, gets mad, like he's loud, he's like really screaming, yelling at the camera. So that's what it's going to be. And then just like I said, 2 high level is going to be NXT on Tuesday. Of course, we have it on Road Break, so please don't forget to watch that review also, family. So also, you know, we got to thank, no, we're not going to thank, we're just going to say, hey, like the NXT like theme for like this NXT Takeover in your house, it was Poppy. You know, like she has like a lot of like songs for NXT. She's really she collaborates a lot with them, and the song is like Dark World. This is on Spotify, Apple Music, you guys can find it there. If you guys like the theme song, there you go. She was actually on NXT also on Tuesday. She was there for the return of Io Shirai. There you go. So like they keep collaborating with each other. They help her out, and also she gives them more, you know, of like the fame side of the story. Like they promote each other. So they cross promote, so that's absolutely fine. Let's go to the main match. For me, at least, I was looking forward for this, and this one didn't disappoint me at all because it was like the ladder match for the $1 Million Championship, and that's Cameron Grimes to the moon, and also LA Knight. You know, these two guys are like really great presented. I love the storyline that they were telling me because, okay, Cameron Grimes started out to mocking someone like the skits that Teddy DiBiase did in the 90s. So that was cool, and then you thought at some point, hey, they have Teddy DiBiase on hand, why not just bring him back? They did that, and then you didn't know where this was going to go, but when they put him with LA Knight, he personifies just the rich, cocky, arrogant guy that like gets all the chicks, you know, he has all the money, he's just like too good for everybody else, he's just one step above that everybody else. So when they did this and they put Teddy DiBiase in the middle, and then they bring the $1 Million Championship, is just a great storytelling, and now they put it in a ladder match. So that was a good thing to do. I really like this. I was hoping that this match was going to be good, and this occasion did not disappoint. You know, like I said, these 3 guys are telling a great story. Probably the best match of the night, at least for me. You know, just because like the intensity that they gave us, and also like both guys really tell me a good story, especially Cameron Grimes, because you might think that he's the heel, but with all these performances and all the promo that he's had, especially the promo that he did on last episode of NXT, like he's becoming one of the greatest baby faces. So like for that, I think that like, you know, this turned out to be really gold. It was really good. You know, Teddy DiBiase was on hand. They brought the $1 Million Championship. They said that the last person that hold this, it was Stone Cold Steve Austin as the ringmaster. That was also good, you know, a little bit of history. And they bring this title back that is prestigious and also signifies status, signifies that you're above everybody else, and it also like you know, signifies that like you're just like at a different level. You know, you're a different type of person. You like live a different lifestyle. So like these 2 guys, like I said, LA Knight, Cameron Grimes, they gave us a great show. LA Knight at the beginning dominating, like, you know, mocking Cameron Grimes. They saying like, you're like hillbilly. You're not. You don't deserve this. This is not for you. This is like you're in the wrong spot. You just won money because you just did something. You know, like with like the GameStop and all of that. It's like you don't know how to live this lifestyle. That's the main story right there. Is like you don't belong in here. I do, because I have the chicks. I'm used to having this lifestyle. I'm used to having money. Everybody, you see my face, you see my body, everything. But like Cameron Grimes did not hesitate because they hit with each other. They used like really good moves, and especially they used the ladder in every single thing of the sequences. So that's what you want to see in a ladder match. It's not just a prop that you just see that there. No, you just make it part of the match. You get them ladder involved in every single thing of the sequences, which they did. And that was like really good. You can see like right there was like a German suplex onto like the ladder. So like they beat each other really good. Like for example, this spot I really like because Cameron Grimes does like a hip toss, and then actually LA Knight ends up hitting with like with his face, like with the ladder. So that's another good thing. Like I said, they really used it. Then Cameron Grimes for like a gold ladder that they had like all the way in like the entrance for the NXT Takeover like show, or like the arena and all of that. So then he grabbed that, and then we're like fighting, of course, for like the gold. LA Knight at some point I thought that he was going to lose it, and I was really disappointed because I was rooting for LA Knight. Why? Just because again, out of the 2, the one that needs the championship is him, because Cameron Grimes, just because of all this promo and all this work that he's been doing throughout these weeks, he can easily be a babyface. He can actually become a great babyface because everybody's behind the guy, because it's believable, and the promos that he's cutting are actually, you can relate on it, because it's like, oh, you know, like you give me the opportunity, I'm going to steal the show. It's like he is not the rich guy, and that's the main story. Like he's just trying to be rich, but he's trying to change the way he is, but like he's actually deep down inside he's one of us. But why not you get behind a guy like that? So you know, like the main, like the last sequences of the match is like LA Knight and Cameron, like you saw in the picture, like they're in the ladder, but then LA Knight pushed Cameron Grimes, because he had already set up like the main ladder, as you can see, and then the other ladder horizontal, and then unfortunately Grimes falls on that, and then he ends up like moving the ladder. So of course that move will like leave him like just dead for the right there, not completely dead, but you know what I mean. He actually was like taken out of the match, and then LA Knight ends up like he like becomes like the new $1 million champion. He gets the briefcase. Like, it took him a while, even like Wade Barrett was like, oh, come on, get it. It took him a while to like unhook the thing, but like, you know, LA Knight finally becomes the $1 million champion. Teddy DiBiase gives him the championship, and there's a lot of celebration. There's a little bit of like pyro, and also like a little bit of lightning right there. Really, really cool. You got to see LA Knight celebrating. Very good things, because I feel that LA Knight deserves it, and now his character is going to be even better. He's going to use this to cash in like better, more important matches, more important feuds. So they did the right thing with him. Again, like the character itself, the promo that he had, the key cuts, everything that he says is believable. So you have in LA Knight, if let's say if there's rumor that some of the guys of NXT are actually move up to the main roster, you have right there your next star, LA Knight. Just saying, for the amount of the good promos and for everything that he does, he can actually be in any title picture. He can be North American champion. He can defend his championship, and hope that they do that. Hopefully, like, they bring in good contenders for that, and then he can go against the NXT champion also. So like, LA Knight has a prominent future. They're doing the right thing with him, so I'm really happy about that. Of course, they have to have like brawls. You know, it's the middle of NXT, it's NXT Takeover. They have to have like the fatal five-way that we're gonna have. So you see like Pete Dunne going against Karrion Kross. You get to see William Regal separating both of them, and also we saw later in the morning we got to see Kyle O'Reilly against Johnny Gargano. So another thing that happened there, you know, but just to hype what the big match, like the NXT Championship match, was gonna be. So now let's go to like, you know, the NXT Women's Championship match. It was Raquel Gonzalez and Amber Moon. This match was okay, not the greatest thing. Again, this match, like the rivalry, like it was put together in like 2 weeks. It was a good opportunity to see Amber Moon finally in a singles match. Raquel needed an opponent. You know, the Io Shirai is not ready yet. They don't want to do that match. Frankie Monet just had a debut match, so like, you're not going to do Frankie. And then Zoe Starks is not ready for that. Toni Storm is actually healed. You're not going to do that with Toni. So, and also like Shirai, we haven't seen her in a long time. So like, there's a lot of women that you can use. But I feel that like they did the right thing, because these women have been fighting also for like the tag team division to become #1 contender to challenge Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell. So that's fine. And they gave us, like I said, a pretty decent match. Then you see like the opening of Old School Way. I like that. You know, it's always like nice. The title in the background, that's really cool. It really gets me excited just to see, because you see like the respect, and you see like the, you know, like how cool they treat this, and I like that. Also, they do that in NXT UK, that show that we also cover in Raw Break. So pretty good. At the beginning, you know, Raquel dominates the whole thing, because why? She's a lot taller, she's a lot more powerful. But then you get to see a big comeback from Amber Moon. Like, she tried to like do her best she could, you know, super kicks, maybe clotheslines, really big strikes, just to like not wear down Raquel, like beat him up, like beat her up, try to like get the best out of her. You know, but in the end, like, she tried for like submission hold. Then a big thing happened, like she actually hit the Eclipse, and that was like, you thought that she was gonna win it, because like she actually completely hit it. She got everything in it. But then Dakota Kai, she was actually ringside, and then she was the one that put Raquel's like foot on the rope, and then of course that will like stop the count. So like Amber Moon knows that like, hey, I'm disadvantaged. But then you got to see the return of Shotzi Blackheart. Shotzi Blackheart ended up like, you know, running away with like also like with Dakota Kai. So that was cool. I mean, they were gonna do it. You know, sometimes they have to do the AEW way. They have to give us this stuff. And you know, the rivalry keeps going on. You get to see like, you know, now it's gonna be kind of like a singles, like they split up. It's gonna be Shotzi with Dakota Kai, and then you get to see Amber and Raquel. Raquel was actually still groggy from it. Then also Amber Moon hit like a tornado DDT onto like the outside of the ring. That was really great. I thought that again, like Amber Moon had a really good shot of winning this match, because like the main story was like, oh, she's gonna be like a 2-time NXT Women's Champion. You know, like right there, you see like of course she's frustrated. She thought she was gonna win it. She had an opportunity, but in the end, you know, Raquel catches her. Then she does like that big like chokeslam power bomb. That's her finisher. 1, 2, 3, and she retains the championship. And we get to see like a dominant Raquel. She's not ready to lose that title anytime soon. I feel that like Frankie Monet has the opportunity. Shirai has another big opportunity. I don't know about Toni Storm, just because she's heel and she's not really like being portrayed great in NXT. Unfortunately, she has not had a good feud, or like even as babyface, she didn't get the opportunities that she did as heel. And you know, every time that she had a championship match, she always lost. So I feel that she's not the woman to dethrone the Raquel Gonzalez. But for now, she's gonna look really strong, and she's looking really powerful. So good action for her. Even like she got a promo in like one of the press conferences that they had. She talked in Spanish. That's really great. I appreciate that. you know, and she said she's not, like, a lot of people like are doubting about like her reign as a champion, and now I think that she proved everybody wrong, because she's delivering good matches. Like, she needs better feuds, yes, but that's not up to her. Like, she has to give some options, but like creative on NXT is the ones that like have to give you those type of feuds. But again, really exciting that that Raquel Gonzalez, like, she retained the championship. We got to see family right there, also like, you know, Peter Bedingfield, also with like Dexter Lumis. They're just playing one of those games, and like, you know, back in the 94, 95, just, you know, those against each other. You just gotta press the button and then they beat up each other. But of course, they got to give you some, you know, moments like just the transitions from match to match, or something that is going to be semi-funny. I didn't find it funny. You know, Dexter Lumis for me is a wasted opportunity. The guy had a great character, psychopath. The music was so believable. The guy could have been even as huge or better, you know, or even greater than what Karrion Kross is. Unfortunately, they turned him into like a baby face, like more like a funny act, and I'm not liking that, unfortunately, for Dexter Lumis. You know, like, they didn't really know how to cash in the popularity that he was gaining. So, you know, that's a really bad for him. But like, I mean, some people like watching what he does. They like what Orange Cassidy does on AEW, so, you know, that's fine. So move on, you know, don't forget, it's going to be on Tuesday, July 6th is going to be the Great American Bash. They're probably going to do like a two-night event. They did it last year also on NXT, and that's why they keep doing that. They have the license for that name because that's a WCW name, but like, actually WWE owns the rights for that name. So they use it on NXT, and it's fine because this case is like 2 days after like the Independence Day. So that's fine. Don't forget to be with us for that. So we were going to be covering everything. They're going to probably have championship matches. They're probably going to have a very special night for that. So be with us for that. Don't forget. Also next week, you know, like I said, also on Tuesday, just, you know, just 2 days from now, we're going to see that the Tornado Tag match, we already talked about that, Tommaso Ciampa, Timo Thatcher, against the Grills Young Veterans, and also like Kushida. He's going to be, you know, putting his title on the line, so who's going to answer that challenge? We'll see what happens, you know. They can bring, you know, somebody from like NXT UK, maybe somebody from the main roster, or just a new guy, you know, from like 205 Live. We'll see what happens, so be there also for us for that show. We will actually be doing the review like every single week, family, don't forget. So now let's talk about like the main event, and this is the Fatal 5-Way for the NXT Championship, and this is Adam Cole, Johnny Gargano, Kyle O'Reilly, Pete Dunne against Karrion Kross. This actually turned out to be like a good match. Like, Jean Paul is not a big fan of those. I don't think he says that, you know, it's really hard to like book all of these guys at once. But I feel that like when they go into the outside, it becomes really hard to follow the action and everything. But if they keep it in the ring, at least it's a little better. And I like, you know, the exchanges of finishes, really good sequences between everybody. So that was cool, and I think that like out of Fatal 5-Ways that I've seen, this turned out to be pretty good, and I give him like my thumbs up. I will say it's not the greatest in the world, but at least everybody gave me like what I needed from every single one of them. So that was good. Johnny Gargano, as he's coming out of the ring, he gets to see Shotzi Blackheart, Dakota Kai, they're still fighting. So you see like that is going to continue on NXT on Tuesday. So you see like that, just they're throwing that, you know, that piece of info right there. Is like, don't forget, they're still gonna have that feud. So you get to see Pete Dunne also with like a brand new attire, brand new gear, all white. Really cool for like, you know, the Bruiserweight. Like, he's really good in the ring. You know, we thought that like he might win the championship. A lot of rumors, family, that like Karrion Kross is gonna go to the main roster. So like we were not sure. Like, you know, in this type of matches, he didn't have to be pinned. So that was the thing. Is like anybody else can get the pin or pin. You know, because they can pin Gargano, they can pin, you know, Adam Cole, and then Karrion Kross will lose the championship and he will still be undefeated, and that's the way that he should go to the main roster. So there was a lot of rumors of what was going to happen, but in the end, you know, everybody gave a good show. Even Kyle O'Reilly looked really great. You know, Pete Dunne for me was like the best star. Like, he got like a lot of great moments with every single one of them. Joint manipulation, the bitter end. Gargano also did a great, you know, performance. Adam Cole on fire one more time. We got to see also Scarlett, you know, the presentation. Everybody looked really cool. Like I said at the beginning, we got to see a lot of, you know, exchanges of like, you know, like punches, and then you got to see like everybody will divide each other. You know, you get to see they go in segments, and that's what you get to see right there. We get to see like Pete Dunne with like also with Johnny Gargano, the Gargano escape. He put that early on in the match. We thought that was going to be the end, but you know, there was a lot of moments to just watch. You get to see the three of them kind of like the same physique and the same height. You know, Pete Dunne, Kyle O'Reilly, Johnny Gargano. And then you got to see also right there like the final beat, you know, like that was a really cool Panama Sunrise also like from Adam Cole. That was extremely great. And then you get to see right there, you know, like Karrion Kross was actually taken like outside, and then they put him through the front door, and then he was taken away. So then everybody else returned to the match. Like you get to see right there, this is a really cool moment also, like a bitter end for Karrion Kross. Pete Dunne, like I said, he got a lot of opportunities to win the match, and I like that because again, this guy might never be an NXT champion, but they always have to portray him as a badass, as a great wrestler that he is. I don't know again if he will ever win that title. I don't know if they have the confidence in him to do that, but the way that like he was NXT UK champion for almost a year and so, almost 2 years, that they have to give him some justice to the guy. Every time that he has a match, he delivers. He got a great thing with like Matt Riddle, so like he deserves more than anything in this NXT brand. And also you got to see like Johnny Gargano right there also getting the final beat onto Karrion Kross. A lot of opportunities for Gargano. We knew that he was not going to win. He's been NXT champion before, so they were not going to go that way. But see right there, Karrion Kross puts the Karrion jacket. They don't call him the straight jacket, they call him the Karrion jacket. But see like the nice way how like Pete Dunne like gets away from it, or gets off of it, is like he actually joins the jaw manipulation. He uses the fingers and bam, he snaps them, and then he will like get released from that hole. We got to see a cool moment also. Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole saw each other. They both got Karrion Kross. They power bombing onto the table. Table didn't break, but at least they have a cool stare down. Gonna go in the days of the Undisputed Era. So that was really cool. Right here also you got to see Kyle O'Reilly. He put the submission hold on Adam Cole. I thought that for a moment that he was going to win, because it's like out of everybody, that was the unexpected guy. I mean, he wanted to be, he got like the feud with Finn Balor and everything. So like you will say that like at some point he has to become NXT champion because the story calls for it. And this was like the perfect scenario for him, because he didn't have to like beat a specific guy. He could just be Cole, and then the feud will still carry on. So like that didn't happen. And the end, Karrion Kross puts like the straight jacket or like the Karrion jacket right there onto like Kyle O'Reilly, to the guy that I just talked about, and then he starts like he ended up passing out. So that's how they ended the match. I mean, it was like 30 minutes around that. It was a really cool match. Like I said, everybody had a chance to win. Everybody looked good. I don't think neither one of these 5 guys looked bad or like you will wonder why he was done in that match. No, they actually put a great show. And again, everybody had an opportunity, like a big fall that they could win. Adam Cole with like also like the last shot. He did like a lot of like of course the super kicks, the Panama Sunrise. Karrion, like he did like the hit to like the neck. Now you get to see the Karrion jacket. Also Kyle O'Reilly did like the knee that he does now, and he did like the submission hold and final beats from Johnny Gargano. We got to see like the bitter end from when it's Pete Dunne. So like a lot of good stuff, and again, everybody looks good. But in the end, they actually don't put like, they put the swerve a little bit, because again, everybody thought that Karrion was gonna, lose the match, was gonna drop the title to somebody else, and then he will go to the main roster. But no, actually Triple H, NXT Creative, they decide, no, this is our guy now, we're gonna keep him. And then you get to see like the celebration with Scarlett. He looks more dominant than ever. So they're gonna have to find an opponent for Karrion Kross, because he pretty much went through like all the 4 guys that they've been fighting for this title. He said like, I want all of them in the match. There you go, you gave it to him. Boom. He actually defeated every single one of them. So really good performance for Karrion. He retains the title. Maybe Keith Lee's going to be the one. He's going to come back to NXT, because in the main roster he had a really lousy run. Didn't get along with creative. Vince McMahon didn't understand what he was like doing. So then maybe he can be the guy. He's like, hey, we can have the match that like we had last year when I left NXT. So maybe that could be the guy. So the show didn't go off the air with like Karrion Kross and Scarlett. Actually, we got to see William Regal being interviewed by Mackenzie, and Mackenzie just asked, what are your thoughts about this NXT takeover in your house? And William Regal says, hey, you know what? It was a really great show. It was a lot of action. It was like a mess. It was just like, brutality all over the place. It's one of the takeovers that I've seen so much action more than ever. And he just says, maybe it's time for a change. And he leaves. So you see that there changes might be coming to NXT. Maybe William Regal is going to leave. Maybe he's going to like quit his duties as the GM. So they're going to bring different stories. They're going to give us something, that we don't see, we haven't seen before. So that's cool. I think that William Regal has done a great job being the manager of NXT. And the main important thing is that he's been the GM ever since the beginning. So maybe like he wants to go back to the UK, maybe he wants to try something different, or maybe creative in the WWE that's just decided they want something different for the brand, because it's time to evolve, and that's fine. William Regal has done a great job being an on-air personality, and also like just being the GM, because actually he stays, his duties as GM, he stays in like that. He doesn't go and wrestle. He actually shows up when the matches are important. Like he always books good things. And in the world of kayfabe, I'm trying to say, but at least he has a good character. If he's pretty lovable, so that's cool. But we see what changes happens, family. What is the future for William Regal? And most of all, what is the future for NXT as a brand? That we're gonna see on Tuesday. When we cover NXT. So this has been the review, family. Thank you so very much for NXT Takeover in your house. Hope you enjoyed. Please don't forget, subscribe to the page. You know, we're 5 people away from like getting to 1,000, our first 1,000. We're really excited, Jean Paul, myself. You know, like thank you for the reception that you always give us, and don't forget to also follow us on Robert on Facebook, the original Robert on Instagram, the OG Robert on Twitter. We always put content, you know. On Tuesday morning, Jean Paul will do Monday Night Raw. Every single thing that happens on that awful show, that is going to be like the Go-Home show for what we're going to have on Hell in a Cell. So, you know, let us know what you guys feel about this NXT Takeover in your house. Did you love it? Did you enjoy it? Did you like it? Anything, just let us know. Put in the comments. We'll always respond to every single one of you. And I say bye to you by saying,